Hey, it's John, creator of John's Deep Dives. Hey YouTube viewers, today we're going to dive into 3 sci-fi Disney movies that you may not have heard much about. These 3 movies star Kurt Russell. The first movie we're going to get into is called The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes. Like many Disney movies that Kurt Russell is in, this movie was not the first one. He was in other Disney movies like Follow Me Boys and Mosby's Marauders. That's besides the point. Let's get into this video. The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes is a strange title to say the least. I honestly don't know why they use this title for what the movie is about. The movie is about Medfield college students who are mostly pretty stupid, but know one subject very well, which would be science. As the school is run by a very snarky, loudmouthed dean and a more cool-minded professor. So Dean Higgins is usually in charge of the school budget while Professor Quigley tries to teach the students whatever he can, predominantly science and computers, at least in the first out of the 3 movies. And Kurt Russell's character, Dexter Riley, gets electrocuted by a computer, and then pretty much his whole body runs like a speedy computer. Even looking through his head in a doctor's office showed that he had nothing but a computer head. So soon after this discovery, he has fame all over the world, and it almost took him away from his friends. But soon enough, Dexter apologizes for any wrongdoing he did to his friends, and then they welcome him back. Of course, you have a few bad guys in this movie, like the original Joker from Batman and his stupid sidekicks who want Dexter for whatever wacky reason. So is The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes a good movie? Well, sort of, maybe. I will say it very mildly tackles how fame can affect a person's friendships and then the message of keeping your friends whether you're famous or not. I will say the first out of the 3 Disney movies that I will mention later in this video is not the best one. So finishing this review on The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes. The movie is very odd. It may be made in 1969, but I think it could have been a much better movie. There are also many familiar faces in this movie that I got a kick out of, and it can be funny at times. Next, we move on to the second movie in this Disney saga, called Now You See Him, Now You Don't. Most of the cast from the first movie show up in the second movie except for Professor Quigley. He's in the first and third movie. Now You See Him, Now You Don't is the right title for what the movie is about. So it starts off with a lightning storm that electrocutes the science lab and makes an invisibility liquid that turns people and other things invisible. Then if you put water on it, you are visible again. So yeah, it has the same 2 villains from the first movie, and they try to rob a bank using the invisibility formula to get away, but get caught because the water hit their car and they became visible. Before I start making the rest of this video talking about the third movie, I say that Now You See Him, Now You Don't is by far the best out of the 3 movies. It is the most family friendly, it is really funny, the special effects are awesome, and definitely has a great cast. Kurt Russell probably was at his best in this Disney movie. Now let's get into the third movie in this saga. The third movie of the Disney sci-fi saga is called The Strongest Man in the World. As we all know, it stars Kurt Russell. Basically, the movie is about Medfield college students who are dealing with science lab equipment, and then some kind of acid goes into the famous Crinkle Crunch cereal and then makes Dexter Riley stronger. Then a lot of the plot deals with 2 villains as well as a spy who want the acid formula to make another cereal company richer. The Strongest Man in the World may be the third movie out of this Disney sci-fi saga and may not have many developed characters, but you can tell that Dexter Riley's friend group will have each other's backs given the situations. So the way the movie ends is that Dexter's team of friends have to participate in a weightlifting contest to make their associated cereal company richer. This movie is very funny, there isn't any offensive language or anything like that. There's also one particular fight scene that's hilarious. All in all, The Strongest Man in the World has underdeveloped characters, but that also makes this movie very funny and interesting at times. John's Deep Dives gives The Strongest Man in the World 4 out of 5 stars. For more videos like this, please like, follow, and subscribe to John's Deep Dives. See you next time.